Hi Year 3, hope you're well. It's your turn for maths skills today. So join me. Right, I've got some key vocabulary that you will need to support you with your reasoning skills in this lesson. So I need you to be explaining what you understand and why you understand it that way. Okay, so it might be really helpful if you have a talk partner next to you ready to support you in this lesson. So adults, that might be you. Brothers and sisters, that might be you. The key vocabulary we have got today includes part, whole, equal, unequal, multiply, divide, inverse, double, half. Fantastic. So get started with your talk partner, and I want you to discuss what you know already about this word here. So this piece of vocabulary says inverse. What do you know already about the inverse? Off you go. Great. I can certainly hear some of you saying the opposite. Yes, so if we had an addition calculation, the inverse would be, yes, the fact family with the subtraction sentence instead. Great. And if I had a multiplication number sentence, the inverse would be, yes, well done, the division number sentence there as well. So well done for recognising that. Let's get started. So today, you're going to help me with this side, and then I've got a problem for you to do by yourself. Okay, so help me out. I've got an incomplete part whole model. I have some of the parts. Some of those parts are being asked to be split into even smaller parts, and then I have a missing whole. Okay, so thinking about your place value, what could my missing whole be? 649. Brill. 649. Oh, that didn't work. So in 649, there are 600s. There are how many tens? Yeah, there were 4 tens. And finally, there are 9 ones. So in 649, there are 600s, 4 tens, and 9 ones. Great. And what can I partition my 40 into? There's lots of different options. I'm going to half it. So I'm going to make them 2 equal parts. But 40 halved is, yes, it's 20 because 4 halved is 2. So I've got 2 tens, 20 and 20. Great. So a part of 16, a part of 40 and a part of 9 makes a whole of 649. A part of 20 and a part of 20 makes a whole of 40. Fantastic. There's my part whole model complete. I would like you to have a go at this part whole model. Off you go. Pause the video if you'd like more time. Great, so your part whole model should look a little bit like this. 286. Yes, we can write that as 286. 286 is 286. So in 286, there are 200s, there are 8 tens, and there are 6 ones. Fantastic. And there are lots of different options that you could go with to partition 80. Some of you might have halved it like I did and gone for 40 and 40. Some of you might have gone for 79 and 1. Oh, very simple one. Some of you might have gone for a part of 50 and a part of 30. So get your adult to check the one that you chose to do. But we're ready to move on. Join me. So now, my part whole model looks a little bit different. Okay, I still have some parts. I have some smaller parts, but I haven't got another part and my whole. So help me out. Got 200 and 200. Part of 200 to part of 200 is, the whole of 400. 70, 403. I don't read like that, do I? Say 473, because they're worth more. 473. Fantastic. So in 473, there are 400s, there are 7 tens, and there are, 3 ones. Fantastic. So in 473, there are 400s, 7 tens, and 3 ones. Yeah? Thanks for your help. Lovely. Your turn now. Without me. Off you go. Pause the video if you'd like more time. Where should we start? Where did you start? Yes, hopefully you started at the bottom realising we need this part. We need this part to get this whole, so use what we know. We know 50 and 50 is, great, it is 100. It's a double fact that we should be holding onto. So we want to be holding onto that double 50 is 100. And then we know that half of 100 is 50. Fantastic. So now we've got 70, 108. Is that how we read our numbers? No, we start with the biggest value, which is the hundreds. So we've got 178. 178. And we know that in 178, there are 100s, there are 7 tens, oh, just like my number, and there are 8 ones. Fantastic if you managed to get that. We're going to move on. So again, my part whole model looks a little bit different. I'm still missing one of the main parts, but I know my whole. So I'm going to use my whole to help me figure this out. So I've got a whole of 666. I've got 606. So what's missing? It's the 60. So I need the 60 here. So I've got 666. And part of my 60, I've already got 30. So this is 60. I've got 30. 1, 10, 20, 30. So I am missing 30 as well. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So I'm missing 30. So let me have a little look. In 666, there are 600s, there are 6 tens, and there are 6 ones. Great, very simple one to do there. I'm excited to see how you get on with the one for you. Have a little look, see if you can figure out the parts from using that whole. Pause the video if you'd like more time. Great, what do we have? How can we read this number? Yes, 652. So we've got 50 and 2, so we're missing, yes, we're missing the 600. So we've got our 600, but however, we've already got the part of 200. So 100, 200. So how many hundreds are left? 1, 2, 3, 4 hundreds. Fantastic. So we've got a part of 400, a part of 200 gives us the whole of 600. Then we've got a part of 600, a part of 50 and a part of 2 gives us the whole of 652. That looks fantastic to me. So in 652, there are 600s, just like mine, 5 tens and 2 ones. So fantastic, you managed to complete that sentence as well. So now, what I have for you, we've practiced together, you've watched me, you've helped me, and then I've let you have a go by yourself. Now it's your turn to crack on by yourself. So pause the video, give yourself a little bit of time to complete these part whole models. Some of them are a little bit open, so you can choose which one you want to. Try and be very efficient. Some of you have been given a little bit of guidance. So in this one, the ones column must be a 5 in each of your parts. Okay, so think about it and off you go. Right, let's get started and look at these answers. So we've got the number here, 342. So we've got 300, and let's partition it like we have been, 40 and 2. Fantastic. We've already got a part of 20 in our 40, so the other part must be 20 as well. So well done if you managed to get that one. 628, oh fantastic, we read our number, we get that, and this is quite open. You can partition 20 into many, many different ways. So get your adult to check. I'm going to put 18 and 2. You might have done a half fact. Half of 20 is 10. Fantastic. Now we're going to look at this one. We've got 370, 50. That's not how I read numbers, is it? 370, 50. These two are of the same. They are tens. We need to add our tens together. So 70 and 50, 7 tens and 5 tens gives us, yes, 12 tens. 12 tens looks like 120. So we've got 300 and 120. 300 at the 100 is 400, and get that 20, 420. So fantastic if you managed to spot that. And you notice I'm asking you to partition 70. There are different ways we can do this, but I'm asking you for the ones column to be 5. So if I said I want this part to be 55, what would this need to be? 55, add the 5, will give me 60, and then I need a 10, so it'll be 55 and 15. There are different options to that, so get your adult to check. This gives us the option to move to this one now. So we've got 25, 525, 25. Who's going to count in the 25s? We've got 3 25s there. Let's count. 25, 50, 75. So we've actually got 575. That looks a little bit more complicated than it actually is. And then finally we can partition 525 in many, many different ways. We might actually go simple and go 525. Some of you might have gone 520 and 5. Some of you might try and half that number, and I'm not sure whether you will be able to, with whole numbers. Explain why to your talk partner. Let's finish off with our final problem. We've got 403, 44, 303. So we've got some that are of the same, haven't we? So we've got 2 lots of hundreds. We've got different values in the tens, and we've also got different values in our ones. So 3 ones, 4 ones, 3 ones. Oh, 3, 3, 4 gives us 10. So we had, 3 and 3 is 6, and the 4 is 10. So we've got 10. We've also got 40. 40 and 10 is 50. So we've got 50, and then we've got 400, 450, add the 300, 450, 550, 650, 750. So fantastic if you managed to get that. And 44 can be partitioned in many, many ways. I'm going to ask you to half it, and it would be 22 in each part. Check with your adult about your partitioning of 44, because there are different ways that you can do that. So well done. If any of you got onto the challenge of partitioning in many different ways, great, get your adult to check whether you were able to do that successfully. We're moving on to our next activity now. My board lets me, and brilliant, we are going to be doing some doubling and some halving now. And we're going to start with doubling. And again, you're going to help me do my side, and then I'm going to leave you alone to do your side. So we've got double 35, and you can see in my bar model, I've tried to show you what double 35 might look like. Yes, we've got 2 equal parts of 35. And to double 35, I might use my partitioning skills to help me do it a little bit more efficiently. So 35 can be partitioned into 30 and 5. Brilliant, so I'm going to partition into 5 and partition into 30. And the same with the other 35. We're going to partition that into 5 and partition that into 30. And now we're able to combine them into easy amounts so we can work in our head. 5 and 5 is 10. And 30 and 30 is, 3 and 3 is 6, or 30 and 30 is 60, 60 and 10 is, fantastic, it is 70. So breaking it down and putting it back together can help us think more efficiently. So 2 equal parts of 35 makes the whole of 70. Fantastic. 2 equal parts of 35 makes the whole of 70. So we're doubling numbers with 5. 5 and 5 is 10. So split that off and then do the rest, using your number bonds to help you. 3 and 3, 6. 3 tens and 3 tens, 6 tens. There are no difference. Your turn to work on this example by yourself. Off you go. Fantastic. Start with your partitioning. We've got double 43. We can see 43 and 43. Partition 43 into 3 and 40. 3 and 40. What's 3 and 3? Is 6. And 40 and 40? 4 and 4 is 8. So 4 tens and 4 tens is 8 tens. 8 tens is 80. 80 and 6 is 86. So 2 equal parts of 43 makes the whole of 86. Fantastic. Hopefully that bar model helps you break down the information into more manageable parts. Some of you might have known it straight away, and that's fantastic. You're building those fluent facts. Right, our next double is double 54. Right, let's think out loud. 54 can be partitioned into 4 and 50. Same with that 54. 4 and 50. I know 50 and 50 is 100. 100, 4 and 4 is 8. 108. Great. That was so easy because I partitioned it into smaller parts. 2 equal parts of 54 makes the whole of 108. Fantastic. Thank you for your help. Now you're left alone. It's your turn. Off you go. Right, year 3, I'm back in. So double 61. How does it look? Yes, 2 equal parts of 61. Let's partition them off into easier parts. 1 and 60, 1 and 60. What's double 60? Double 6 is, remember it's double 6 tens, so double 6 is 6. Yes, 12. Fantastic. So we've got 12 tens, which looks like, 12 tens looks like 120, 12 tens, 120, and we know double 1 is 2. Fantastic. 122. So 2 equal parts of 61 makes the whole of 122. Great. So if you didn't quite know, double 6 is 12. So double 60 is 120. That needs to be a fact that you're trying to remember. So keep practicing that one at home. Another double, nice and quick. Double 73, 73, 73. Let's partition it into nicer parts. 73 is made up of 3 and 70. 3 and 70. Double 3 is, 3 and 3 is, yeah, it's 6, isn't it? Fantastic. You know what, let's write that down there. 6, just so we remember. And then what's double 70? 7 tens, double 7 tens, 2 lots of 7 tens. 7 and 7 is 14. 14 tens is 140. We've actually got 146. Fantastic. So 2 equal parts of 73 makes a whole of 146. So that's another double fact that you should be really trying to hold in that head. Double 70 is 140. So keep practicing that one if you don't know that one as well. Your turn to work on your own. Oh, very similar. Off you go. Great, I'm back into help. So 75 and 75, that's how it looks like when we're saying double. There are two equal parts of that same number. Great, we'll partition 75 into 5 and 70. 5 and 70. We should know double 70 is now. Yes, it was 140, wasn't it? Remembering that from the previous problem I modelled before. And 5 is 10. And 140 has 10. 140, 150. Brilliant. You're so good at counting tens, I know you'll be able to do that. So two equal parts of 75 makes the whole of 150. Fantastic. Knowing double 75 is 150 is a really useful fact to know. So let's keep practicing that one. Now, we're going to do the inverse. We're not going to double numbers anymore. We are going to half them. And halving numbers is to partition them into two equal amounts. So we need to make sure our 24, as we can see, ends up in two equal amounts. And it's sometimes easier to partition those numbers off into more manageable parts. So we've got to partition 24 into 20 and 4. Half and 4 is 2. Brilliant. So we've got 2 lots of 2. And then half and 20, 10. Fantastic. We have 10 and 10 and 10. And then can we make them into two equal parts? We've got two 10s and two 2s. So a 10 and a 2 becomes 10, 11, 12. A 10 and a 2 becomes 10, 11, 12. So we have managed to halve 24 into two equal parts. So the whole of 24 can be partitioned into two equal parts of 12. We halve the 20, we halve the 4, we put the parts back together. So fantastic, and thank you for helping me with that. It's your turn to do something very similar. Off you go. Great, fantastic. Hopefully we partitioned 86 into 80 and 6. Let's start with 6. 6, half of 6 is 3. We know that, we've practiced that many a times. And half of 80, so half of 8 tens, so we can see how 8 tens is 4 tens, and 4 tens is 40. So if we half them, we're going to have 40 in each part. Great, now we've got a part of 40 and a part of 3, a part of 40 and a part of 3. 40 and 3 is, brilliant, 43, 43. So the whole of 86 can be partitioned into two equal parts of 43. Great, so this method using our bar model is really helpful in helping us picture what we need to do to think more efficiently. If you already have that picture in your head and you can work them out very quickly, that's fantastic, and that's something we'll continue to work on. So our next half, we're going to partition 68 into 60 and 8. We can half 8, we've got 8, half it, yes, 4 and 4. Half and 60, 6 tens, 3 tens and 3 tens. We know 3 tens is 30. There we go. So we've got 30 and 4 and 30 and 4. 30 and 4 is 34. 30 and 4 is 34. So the whole of 68 can be partitioned into two equal parts of 34. Fantastic for your help. Now, you can half 82 on your own. Off you go. Brilliant. How have we partitioned 82? Yes, we've partitioned it into 80 and 2. Half of 2 is, yes, share 2 cakes between you and your brother. 1 and 1. Half of 80, half of 8 tens, 4 tens and 4 tens. 4 tens is 40, 4 tens is 40. So we've got 40 and 1 and 40 and 1, meaning we have 41 and 41. Our sentence will then read, the whole of 82 can be partitioned into 2 equal parts of 41. Fantastic if you manage to get that. So we're going to do half of 440 now. Half of 440. What 2 equal parts do you think though? Is there going to be 2 equal parts? We're not quite sure yet. Let's break them down into manageable parts before we get them into our equal parts. So 440, I can hear 400, that sounds like a manageable number, and so does 40. I know half of 40 is half of 4 tens, which is 2 tens. And 400s, half of 400s is 200s. 200s and 200s. So I've got 200 and a 20, 200 and a 20. Meaning we're going to have, oh, how do I write 220 again? Can you help me out? Say it a bit louder. 200, yeah, so it's 2, 2, 0, fantastic. And then also 2, 2, 0. So the whole of 440 can be partitioned into 2 equal parts of 220. Brilliant. Now, can you halve 660? Very similar, off you go. Great, so instead of 440 being partitioned into 440, 660 is going to be partitioned into 660. We know 60 is 6 tens, half of 6 tens is 3 tens, so we've got 30 and 30. Half of 600s is 300s, so we've got 300 and 300. So knowing those bonds of numbers are fantastic and very transferable to large numbers. So we've got 330, 330. We have now got 2 equal parts. So the whole of 660 can be partitioned into 2 equal parts of 330. And we know partitioning into 2 equal parts is exactly the same as halving. That's how good our understanding is. Got some examples for you to work on your own. Some of them are asking you to double and some of them are asking you to halve. So be careful and make sure that you are checking what they are asking you to do. Off you go. Pause the video to allow yourself more time. Right, let's have a little look. So double 105, double the 5, double the 100, 100 and 200, 210. Fantastic, because we know 5 and 5 is 10. Double and 152. So what we're going to partition into? Oh, we're going to go 52 and 100. Double 100 we know is 200. Double 50 is 100, and double 2 is 4. Fantastic, so we've got 104. 200 and 104 is 304. Fantastic. Another double, double 230, double 200, double 30, 200 and 200 is 400, 30 and 30 is 60, so we've got 460. Then we've got again 400 and 400, 51 and 51. 50 and 50 is 100. 1 and 1 is 2. 102. 400, I'm just going to write that down so we don't forget 102. 400 and 400 is 800. So 800 and 102 gives us 902. Fantastic work. Half of 808, half the 800, half the 8. Half of 8 is 4. Half of 800 is 400. So now we've got 404 in each of those equal parts. Then if we do 648, half of 600, 300, half of 40 is 2, 2 tens, yeah, 2 tens, and half of 8 is 4. So 2 tens and 4, 24. Fantastic. Some of you might have partitioned your bar model into even smaller parts. So we've got 324, 324. So good, efficient thinking to allow you to double and half in your head. We are now going to work on some variation facts. So we know that 4 times 6 equals 24. Just double check that that fact is right before we get started. Great, yes, it's right. So we can use this times table fact to solve many other problems. That's why we ask you to remember those times table facts, because they open many doors to other different problems. So if we know 4 times 6 is 24, we also know that 6 times 4 is 24. Brilliant. Because it's exactly the same. Instead of 4 groups of 6, we've now got 6 groups of 4, which is going to equal the same. We also know that 24 shared by 6 is going to give us 4. We also know that 24 shared by 4 is going to give us 6. So you remember that word inverse? That's where it's coming in. We know that the inverse of 4 times 6 is 24 shared by 4. Great. Remember when we divide from large amounts into smaller parts. So if we know 6 times 4 is 24, 6 times 2, what relationship can we see between 4 and 2? Yeah, it's been halved. So it's half the amount. So half of 24 is 10 and 2. 10 and 2 is 12. Some of you might be fantastic at your 2 times table and doubling and recognise straight away 6 times 2 is 12. But let's think about how our other facts link. Then we've got 4 times 3. What relationship can we see? Yeah, the 4's the same. Or the 6, however, it's not as big as 6. It's half the amount. So again, 4 times 3, we've half the amount we've multiplied it by, meaning our answer must be half of this, so 24. What's half of 24? 10 and 2, 12. Brilliant. So now we've got 60 times 4. I know 60 times 4 is basically 6 times 4, but it's 6 tens times 4. So let's have a look at my 6 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many tens have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 tens. 24 tens. 240 times 10. Great, so because I knew 4 times 6 is 24, I knew 6 times 4 was 24, so I knew 60 times 4 was 240. So because we know this fact, we know many other different facts. Hopefully you were working alongside me there. But now, I would like you to use this fact, 8 times 3 equals 24. Check it before you go, just to make sure you know that you're confident that it's true. and to use this fact to solve these other facts without having gone back to the beginning and calculating it. Look for the connections. What do we notice? What's the same? What is different? Ask yourself that question. Off you go and have a go at solve those problems. Pause the video if you'd like more time. So we know 8 times 3 is 24, so we know 3 times 8 is also 24. We know 24 divided by 8 gives us the 3. We know that 24 divided by 3 gives us the 8. The 8 times 6, the relationship being 6 is actually double the 3. So we need a double of the 24. What's double 24? Double 20, 40. Double 4 is 8. 48. Fantastic. Then 4 times 3. What's changed? Oh, this time 8 has been halved. So we need to halve this amount. Half of 24 is 12. Fantastic. For those who remembered it from the last slide, we moved on. And then now, instead of 8 times 3 equals 24, we've got 80 times 3. Can we see the 80 times 3? So it's 8 tens times 3, meaning we've got 24 tens. And to show 24 tens, we add a 0 as our placeholder in the ones column. Moving it to 24 tens, which is the same as 240. 24 tens is the same as 200s, 4 tens and 0 ones. So fantastic. This time I've given you the fact, but I haven't given you the other facts that you might know. I would like you to work out other facts that you know because you know this fact. Off you go. Pause the video if you'd like more time. We should hopefully have some inverse facts here. 9 times 4 equals 36. 36 divided by 4 equals 9. 36 divided by 9 equals 4. Some of you might have halved and done 2 times 9. We know is half of 36, 18. We might have doubled 4 and done 8 times 9 equals double 36, which is actually 72. And then some of you might have actually gone for 40 times 9. So instead of looking at it as 40 times 9, 4 tens times 9, meaning we will have 36 tens, which we know and we're confident with being 360. Fantastic. If you've got any other facts, let your adult check just to make sure that they are accurate. But thank you very much for joining me, Year 3. Keep safe and I hope you enjoyed math skills for today. Well done.